it's Laurie at Sew Right Sewing Machines, and today I want to show you one of many great features the Bernina 790 Pro has. So we're going to take a look at some of the menus that live in the module file. More importantly, since I'm a big quilter, I'm all excited about some of the quilting designs they have built in. So in file number 2, you will find BQM designs, and those are computerized embroidery designs that you might find on a long arm machine. And what they've done with the Bernina 790 Pro is they've included it in one of their menus of designs. So I am going to take a look at most particularly number 53, because I want to show you kind of a cool technique today. Number 53. So it's a very attractive swirl design. What's nice about some of the BQ, or all of the BQM designs, is that they are scalable. So that, if I choose the right size hoop, because today I'm using the maxi hoop, which has a nice twist lock, so I'm going to choose that here, maxi. So we're going to see it's large. And actually, I want this design to live in this little square here. So I'm going to resize it. And then my goal then today is I have drawn these lines here. And as you can see, they're quite irregular. It's almost like a wonky trapezoid, because what we're going to take a look at today is the morph feature in the machine, okay? So first things first, let's try to rescale this down. I'm seeing it takes quite a bit of my hoop size, so I would like to scale it down. I'm going to say got to scale it down at least 40%, okay? And then I'm going to take a look at that first. So I'm going to go to the information. I'm going to go to resize. Thank you. And I want to lock in the design. I don't want to distort it all, so I'm going to keep the lock on, but I'm going to try to now reduce the size. And on the screen, you're going to see how the size changes. And we're, 50% might be doable, actually. Let's go to 45, okay, for today's purposes. All right, so I'm got it down to 45. Okay. So based on the rather large design, I resized to 45% because I want this to go into this. And I'm going to pretend it's wonky, so I want to show you the morph feature. So let's put it in the hoop, okay? And the only way that I can do pinpoint placement is with the hoop on. So that's why, even though we're not ready yet to sew it, or we're putting it all in place, and we need the hoop to guide us in terms of where to place this design. So the machine asks that I hoop. Okay. The machine makes a little beep when you've got it snugly in place, okay? So there's an audio signal, so you don't have to second guess. Here we go. Now we're in position. Okay. Now I'm going to take my design, and we're in our maxi hoop, and now I want to place it up there. So I am going to go back to my eye and find pinpoint placement. We're going to do the morph now because I've got a rather odd design. So let's take each corner, and it doesn't matter what corner I start with, but let's see if I can. There we go. Okay. There's my corner. You see where that laser light is? A great feature of the machine to help me with placement. I want it up in this corner. So I'm going to move my knobs. And I'm just going to line it up straight, and I'm going to fine tune it once I get it in place. Watch it stretch. It's morphing based on my design. And as you notice, the lighting's rather dark here. It's because I want you to see the laser. You're going to have much better lighting when we've got the lights put back on, when you're sewing at home. That looks Well, okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to look at how weirdly that stretched it. It actually looks kind of like a kite, which is kind of cool, actually. Now we're going to go to my other corner up here, okay? So again, moving it over. Morphing works with 4-point placement. If you have other shapes, I would use other placements, the grid or the 2-point placement. But Morph works best with 4 points. I think that looks pretty decent, okay? Okay, my block is shaping based on my design placement, okay? One other cool thing is the module itself, which is what I'm quilting on, has developed new speed and technology. It's called Smart Drive technology. So it's 33% faster than even the newest Smart Drive technology hoop that Bernina created. Okay, final point. Here we go. Now I can always go back and correct my other points because we don't have to set or reset. It's programmed in its mind what we've already established in terms of the points. Okay, so I'm going to move it over to the left. I don't have to hit a set button or anything when I do this. I think that looks okay. So forget the reset button. We have margins. I could establish margins. Say that this design went all the way to the edge of the quilt and I wanted not to get into the seam allowance. I can also set a margin around this, starting in 1/8 inch increments. So it's going to reduce the size based on, this is my block, what I request. So there's an inch in between each of the sides, all the way to 1 1/8 inch. But I'm going to go 1 1/4 actually, and 1 1/2. But I'm back down to 0 because I am away from the sides. All right, let's see what happens now, shall we? Okay, so let us close this menu and let's stitch her out. Okay, we're ready to go. That's our beginning point, and I am going to hit go. Is a 4-minute design. Now we're down to 3 minutes, so it's rather quick, and it's doing a stitch countdown. I can turn the jackrabbit on to make it quicker, but I like to have some control. I don't want to speed through the design in case there's a broken thread or any type of issue, so I like to keep it at the pace the machine is going now. Please make sure too that you've got your quilt folded up properly so that it's not sewing itself up and under the hoop. Right? And look how nicely it's nailing those points that I designated as my set points for the edges of my block. This is great. It's so exciting that the machine can do this for me without too much editing on my part. And without really second guessing, the machine took out all the guesswork in terms of the placement. It's not really an excuse to be a bad sewer, but in those cases where you want to do a block fill and you might have inaccurate seam allowances, this will do the trick. Okay, we're almost done. Last few stitches, that was pretty quick. design. And I am staying right within the range of my yellow lines. Can't get any better than that. Check out that laser. It's anticipating each needle penetration point. And because it's a BQM design, it doesn't cut the thread. That way you can pull up your bobbin thread and pull it through and sew in your ends. All right, shall I take it out of the machine? I have not pulled up the thread, but let me do this anyway, okay? I will trim the threads later just because I want you to see it out from under the machine. Look at it. I did a poor hoop placement and I drew a wonky line. It fit right in the parameters of my drawn line. Let's take a look at the back. Excuse all the bobbin threads and everything. My bobbin thread did get caught up, but here we go. Nice balance. Thanks for spending time with me today. Welcome you to come into the shop. We can show you all the great features of this machine, and we look forward to seeing you. Bye.